Welcome to the sequence. The sequence is all about reducing kapha. What is kapha? It's one of the three main qualities in Ayurveda, which means one of the three main qualities we have in us. So especially now in spring, if it's spring on your side of the world, or not even in spring, if you're feeling tired, lethargic, you can't be bothered to do anything, and you feel you're picking up weight, and you're constantly getting a cold with phlegm, and your eyes are watering, and your nose is leaking and running. So when there's a lot of fluid buildup and you're getting chesty, this means that this quality kapha is heightened within you. And this is most likely to happen in springtime, because springtime is the season for kapha to be heightened. So in order for us to reduce kapha and to keep it in check and in balance, we can do a few things in our day-to-day lives to support this. One of them being wake up before 6 o'clock in the morning. Brush your skin with a silk glove or a brush gently from the bottom to the top. Do some vigorous exercise because this gives you energy. Eat small portions, fresh food, cooked food, but light food. Keep away from carbohydrates and milk products, sugary things. These all reduce this quality of kapha within us. You can do this just for a while to detox and to feel better, and then you can go back to a semi-normal kind of a diet, that which you're used to, provided it's a healthy one for you. So today's series has been selected to reduce kapha, so it's a little bit vigorous, as in not movement, but we will be standing and holding certain challenging asanas and building up a lot of strength. So the quality of kapha is more in the lung area and the upper stomach area. So this is what we'll be tackling today, and we're incorporating the legs within the program. So let's sit with closed eyes for a moment, just allowing all this to sink in for a moment. And while you're just sitting there, notice how you're feeling. Notice any body sensations. So if you're not comfortable sitting like this, please sit on a blanket or a block. We will be needing a block for this practice. Should have mentioned it earlier, but rather late than never. Feel your sitting bones on the floor. Elongate the spine. Shift your chest out slightly and just draw the shoulder blades down. Notice your breath. Let's make sure that that lower jaw is not clenching with the upper jaw, so we just want to release that. And now start paying attention to your breath in your lower abdomen. So as you breathe in, your lower belly expands, and as you breathe out, it contracts again slowly together. And if you know the Ujjayi breath, then use that. We want to slow the breath down, and we want to direct the breath into the lower abdomen. And in doing so, we're becoming, first of all, more present. Secondly, we're activating the abdominal muscles, massaging various digestive organs down there. So this practice is not ideal if you're pregnant or if you have a strong period today, because we'll be doing some seriously deep twisting and core strengthening. And we're going to begin with a round of Kapalabhati, which is also the breath of fire. If you know the technique, go ahead and begin. Otherwise, I'm going to explain it. Each out breath, you will draw that belly in very strongly, and your in breath is passive and short. The in breath just happens. The out breath, you force it out. And we breathe only through the nostrils. Kapalabhati is said to clear the skull. It's a skull clearing exercise, but we're also activating and strengthening the abdominal muscles. So just keep your pelvic floor muscle lightly engaged while you're breathing in Kapalabhati. Keep going. And now take a deep breath in. Hold your breath just shortly and then through the mouth with an ah. Exhale. And when you're finished exhaling, hold your breath. Lower your chin to your chest. Hold it as long as you can. And with your pelvic floor muscle, just slightly activating it as if you're trying to hold back urine. Very gently. Don't squeeze anything too tight. Relax the shoulders. Hold your breath as long as you can until you can't anymore. And when you can't, you just breathe in, lift your head again and just relax. Noticing any sensations in your body and your mind. And let's open up the eyes again. And let's come into a lying down position, hugging your knees to your chest and gently rocking from side to side, just giving that spine and those back muscles a good old massage. And just remain connected to your breath. Keeping that lower jaw released from the upper jaw. And we're going to start with a few abdominal exercises and leg strengthening. So let's begin in a variant of happy baby pose. The soles of your feet are pointing towards the ceiling. Interlacing all the fingers except the index fingers. With your out breath, draw those knees to the floor, feeling the lower back lifting up. Lift it up even more, and at the same time, lift your shoulders off the floor, reaching the fingers to the ceiling. And now lower your heels to the floor, further away from your buttocks, hands on the floor, and as you breathe in, raise your upper body, pulling the mat towards the head with your heels. Then as you breathe out, lower down again into this version of happy baby pose, lifting the back, the lower back, the upper back, as much as you can, holding it. And then again, lowering the heels further away from the buttocks, breathing in, raising your hips up, your pelvis up, pulling the mat with your heels, and move in your own flow. Find your own kind of flow here. Always holding it for a while. Let's not move too quickly, because if we move too quickly, then the exercise is not as effective as when we're moving slowly. So just find your rhythm. Keep lifting as much as you can off the floor. Raising, moving the sacrum towards the feet when you're in this semi-bridge pose. We're going to do two more. So this is the first one we're going to do. Lifting, lifting, holding, holding, holding. Bringing those heels to the floor, but the heels are now together. Raising up with your pelvis, and now lift your left leg up. Your left knee is bent. Bring your left heel to the floor. Raise the right leg up, it's still bent. Bring your right heel to the floor, raise your pelvis higher, And as you breathe out, roll down into your happy baby, pulling, pulling, pulling up, 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 up. And one more time, heels together to the floor, raising those hips, lifting the left leg bent, lifting the pelvis higher, bringing the left heel to the floor, raise that right leg up, it's bent. Bring that right heel to the floor, lift the pelvis even higher, and release down for your absolute last happy baby. Lift, 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 and hold. And now bring the soles of your feet together on the floor. Relax the arms next to the body. Sway your knees, your body. If you like, turn your head from left to right, just to release and let go and become still. And take a few deep breaths in through the nose. With a sigh of relief, out. Maybe one or two more. Be aware of the opening in your hips, in your abdomen. Let's bring those knees together and take a hold of your block. If you don't have a block, take a thick book, also fine. Bringing the block between the knees, arms to the side, your knees are bent, so you want to make sure that your knees and your hips are in one line, approximately. And you really want to press that block together. So for beginners, you can do it with both your knees bent. As you breathe in, we lower to the right side, turn your head to the left, squeezing the block tight, drawing the navel in. As you breathe out, come back to center. And then we're going to switch sides. Breathing into the left, head turns to the right. Squeezing the block, come back to center. So we're going to move slowly. So if you're not a beginner and you're feeling fairly fit, you can straighten the left leg while you're dropping both your knees to the right. And as you breathe out, coming back to center, then switch the legs. Straighten the right leg, bend the left. Breathing in, lower to the left. And as you breathe out, you push with that lower knee into the block, bringing that other leg back up. So you really want to go slowly. Find your rhythm. Draw that navel in. Don't rush. If your back is hurting here, do less. Don't do as much. So now we're really strengthening the abdominal muscles, the sides, the obliques. Keep moving. If you really want more of a challenge, you can even keep both legs straight. Lower them both. Just make sure you're pressing into the block. Let's do another set. Your last one is on the left. So when you're finished on the left side, come back to center. Loose that block. Bring the soles of your feet onto the mat, mat width apart. Arms remain to the side, and you can start swaying those knees from left to right. Just being aware of the opening in your side abdominals here, into the hip flexors, into the quadriceps. Taking a nice deep breath in and out, or a few of them. So drop your knees to the right and just stay there. Breathing happily ever after into the left abdominals, hip flexors, quadriceps. If this stretch on the left is too little for you, just grab a hold of your left foot with your left hand, bringing the foot closer to the glutes, to the buttocks. bringing the top part of your left foot flat on the floor. And then you have more of a stretch in the depths here. Just take a few breaths. Never go over your limits. Always acknowledge where your body is, how much is enough for you, how much is right for you. And let's be very authentic in our practice. So bringing the knees back to center, so your feet must be as close to your glutes, to your buttocks as possible. And then drop your knees to the left and possibly just pull that right foot in a bit higher towards the glutes. And there's always a good indication that your facial muscles are very relaxed, your neck, shoulders are very relaxed. If they're relaxed, then you're okay in your posture. But if they start tensing up, you need to reevaluate how much you're doing and if it's right for your body. Coming back to center, let's hug those knees into the chest with the hands underneath the knees. Start rocking up and down. We might just be resetting certain vertebrae back into the spine, into its positions, which is really a wonderful feeling as well. And we're also strengthening the core as we're going along here. And one way or another, let's meet each other. Rock yourself up into a standing position, forward bend, walking those feet closer together. Your hands can be on blocks or on the floor. And let's make a few sort of stepping actions here. Bending one knee at a time, alternating. Just keep those heels flat on the floor. Even sway with your pelvis slightly. Opening up the side body. So come on the fingertips, and as you're swaying your pelvis and bending each knee, look under the elbows, look under the arm. Just opening up that side body. And let's straighten both knees. Keep the left hand flat, possibly on a block or on the floor, but your knees are now straight, especially the right one. Let's bend the left knee and open up to the right side. So stretch and look to the right fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Draw that navel in. Draw that right hip inwards to the left slightly. Keeping that jaw relaxed. As you breathe out, bring your right hand to the floor or on the block. Bend that right knee. Press the right hand down. And as you breathe in, open up to the left, stretching the left fingers to the ceiling. Shifting that left hip slightly inwards to the right. So we're really just opening up the thoracic spine here. And then as you breathe out, lower your hands to the floor. Bending the knees, roll up. Vertebra by vertebra, let's come up into standing position. Just realigning here, bringing the feet together. Feel the connection of your feet with the ground. Kapha element is related to the elements in nature of water and earth. So imagine that you're just with your feet connecting to the earth. And as you breathe in, bring your arms up. And as you breathe out, bend those knees into Utkatasana, the chair. Your arms are next to your ears. Just draw these knees backwards and lower the sacrum down. Hold. Spread all your toes evenly on the floor. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, open up your body to the right. So both arms are at shoulder height. Look over your right shoulder. Keep that pelvis neutral here. Keep it centered, better said. And as you breathe in, come with your arms up again, turn to the front, and as you breathe out, open up to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Just keep drawing those knees back. Breathing in, come in Utkatasana. As you breathe out, fold forward, interlace all the fingers behind your back, straighten the arms, hold here.
making sure that all four corners of your feet are evenly distributed on the ground. Feel the lower abdominal, how it's really pressed together, and breathe into it. So we're really going to be breathing into the abdomen a few times today. And as you breathe out, lower the hands, bend your knees, roll up, bringing the arms up to your sides. Interlace all the fingers, except the index fingers. Straighten the elbows, reach up. And on your next in-breath, raise your right knee as high as you can. Just hold here and breathe. Breathe into your abdomen and into your chest. So first into the abdomen, then into your chest. On the next out breath, we're going for a twist. So bring your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Open up your right arm to the back. Look over your right shoulder. Now we're going to be challenged and balanced. Pull with your left hand, opening up the chest, the thoracic spine. Take a deep breath in, coming back to center, and breathing out, just lower the right leg. Interlace all the fingers again, except the index finger. Let's breathe in, raising that left knee as high as we can, straightening the right knee, pushing that right foot well into the floor. We're focused, we're breathing, we're connected and rooted. And on your next out breath, let's open up to the left. So pull with your right hand on that right knee or thigh. Open up to the left, look behind your left shoulder. Breathing in, come back to center. And breathing out, lower the leg. Opening up the feet hip distance apart. Releasing the hands. So your arms remain next to your ears. We're coming into a posture called the bear. So we're going to lean forward, bend the knees deeply, and come very deep. So your heart and your chest wants to be parallel to the floor. Your arms are next to your ears. We're drawing those knees back. Breathing. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, come into a forward bend. Walk those knees, those feet together. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lower your abdomen to your thighs. Walk the hands back. Draw the nose towards the knees slightly. Relax all facial muscles. Just feel what it feels like to be literally folded together. And as you breathe in, come up to the fingertips. And with your right foot, take a big step back and turn to the side. Turn to the side. So all your toes are pointing forward. Hands are on the floor or on the block. Just arrive here. Straighten both knees. Take a few deep breaths here, in and out. So now let's turn those toes outwards as much as you can. So now you're going to bend the knees and come down, pressing with the hands on the inner knees, coming up. Your body comes up. There we go. So as we breathe in, raise the arms up, interlace the fingers, except the index fingers. Raise the heels off the floor, and as you breathe out, let's do cactus arms and heels flat. Breathing in, lift the heels, straighten the arms, interlace the fingers. Breathing out, cactus arms, heels flat. 3 more. Breathing in and out. Again, in and out. 1 more. Breathe in and out. Stay there with your knees bent. Bring the right hand onto your right thigh and open up to the left. Whoopsie daisy, lost my balance there. And as you breathe out, left hand on the thigh, open up with the in-breath to the right. And release. So take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, fold forward again, pointing the toes forward, bringing the hands flat on the floor or on blocks. And just relax your head. Take a few breaths here. In and out. So as you breathe in, come back on the fingertips. And on your out breath, with your right hand, hold on the outside of your left ankle. Walk the left hand as far as you can to the right. Now press those left fingertips into the floor. And now look under your left arm. Pull with your right hand on your left foot. Press with your left fingertips on the floor. Keep those hips as square as you can, so don't shift with your hips to the left. Stay centered. Bring that head underneath your left arm. And release. Let's switch sides. With your left hand, hold the outer edge of your right foot. With your right hand, walk towards your left. Press those right fingers to the floor and start looking underneath your right armpit. And pull with your left hand. Press down with your fingers of the right hand. Square those hips off as best as you can. Keep breathing. Relax that lower jaw. And as you breathe in, come back to center, onto the fingertips, and breathing out, bend, fold down again. Come back up onto the fingertips. Let's turn those toes out one more time and hope that I don't lose balance here again. Coming down into your squat as deep as you can. Raising the arms up, interlacing all the fingers. Lifting those heels off the floor. Take a few breaths in and out here. See if you can come deeper, lower. There we go. And as you breathe out, lower the hands. Come back down into a forward fold and just walk those feet closer together, hip distance apart. Again, with your right hand on the outer edge of your left foot or ankle, whatever suits best. With your left hand on the outer side of your right foot. Both knees remain straight, stretched. And now we're looking over the left armpit again, or under, not over, under. Keeping those hips as square as you can and the knees straightened. So you really want to use the leverage of your hands and pull your body closer to your thighs so that you can see more underneath your left arm, keeping those hips as square as you can. And come back to center. Let's switch sides. Release only your right hand. Bring it on the outside of your left foot. Take a deep breath in. Now shovel that navel to the right, and now look under your right arm. Pulling with both your hands on your feet, on your toes, wherever you are. Drawing that lower abdomen towards your thighs. Twisting the navel to the right, looking under the right armpit. And breathing into it. Let's release back to center with the in-breath. And as you breathe out, come down onto the haunches. Let's come into a bit of a squat here, but with our knees together, our feet together. Let's just remain focused as we can be. Taking a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, walk your hands to the right. To the right. So your left arm is on the outer edge of your right foot. Use this elbow as leverage to twist your navel more to the right. So let's find our balance, because our heels are off the floor. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to balance. Keep that left elbow bent. Press the hands together. The right elbow towards the ceiling. So keep your gaze fixed on one point here. If you can, turn your gaze to the right elbow. Breathing into the lower abdomen, just notice how squished it is here. So we're really facilitating a very deep massage into these abdominal organs. Let's release very slowly. Make all your movements slow. And it's okay if we lose our balance once in a while. We just get back on that horse. Move over to the left. Using the right elbow to press against your thigh just so that your navel can come a little bit more to the left, so we can really optimize this massage on the spleen area, the stomach area, the left hand side, digestive tract, pancreas and all. Come into your version of this posture. And maybe you can't press your hands together, then you just keep your hands and fingertips on the floor. That's also fine. Notice how we're strengthening the feet muscles, the muscles of the feet here. No pressure, guys. So let's release from here. And now we're going to come into squat. So opening up the feet, mat width apart, opening up the knees. Maybe you want to roll your mat so that your heels can be pushing down onto the mat, because ideally we want the heels flat on the floor. The elbows on the inner edge of your knees. Arrive here. Straighten out the right arm. So your right hand is either on the floor or on a block. You really want to activate your pelvic floor muscle, the mula bandha, and push with your right arm, your right knee. Open up to the left side, straightening the left fingers to the ceiling, looking towards the ceiling, holding it, breathing into that right shoulder, into the right abdominals. Let's switch sides, left hand on the floor, pressing that left knee, opening up to the right on the in-breath. And as you breathe out, come back forward. So let's come onto the hands and the knees. And roll the toes under and sit on your heels. So maybe you want to prepare 2 blocks if you have them. You might need the blocks. We're going for the camel pose now. So let's come up onto the knees. We've really squished everything in the abdominals together. So we want to now open it up, create more space. Bringing the palms of your hands on your lower sacrum so that the fingers are pointing down. Toes are rolled under. Drawing the elbows together. Shifting the sternum towards the ceiling. So we really don't want to take too much strain on the lower back here. We don't want to just hang in there like a hammock. And we don't want to strain the neck either. So let's take good care of this posture. Draw those elbows together. Now with your hands, push that pelvis forward. This is your back bend. And now bend from your chest, from your thoracic spine. And gaze just to the ceiling to one point. You can keep tilting your head slightly back, but don't let it just hang. So you want to keep your neck controlled, and your eyes can move towards your nose, your gaze towards your nose. It just takes off strain off the neck muscles. If you can go further, take your hands onto the blocks each next to your feet, or take your hands onto the heels, but keep shifting that pelvis forward. Notice the opening of your abdomen here, your chest, your abdomen. If you're very flexible in your back, you can even flatten the feet, the soles, not the soles of your feet, the top parts of your feet. Holding it and breathing. Keep pushing that pubic bone forward. And to release, bring one hand onto your lower sacrum, then the other. And let's just come up again. And sitting on the heels in Vajrasana with the knees together. Let's just arrive here and notice all the sensations. Don't go into a forward bend so quickly. Take a deep breath in and out.
Let's neutralize this with a gentle twist. So just slip off over to the left side, onto the floor. If you feel you're really skewed, just grab a blanket or one of your blocks and sit on it under the left buttock. Take a deep breath in, elongate the spine, and as you breathe out, just give it a gentle twist to the right. Support yourself with your fingers on the floor, the right hand. Support yourself with your left hand on the right knee, just giving it a little tug. Breathe gently and easily, and avoid going into a back bend here, so draw the front ribs inward. Check your jaw and your breath. Let's switch sides. Scooch over to the to right. Support yourself with your left hand on the floor behind you. Your right hand tugs onto your left knee, and take a deep breath in. We elongate the spine, and as we breathe out, we twist slightly to the left. Notice the stretch in your neck muscles here as well. Breathe gently and easily. And sitting back onto the heels for a round of Kapalabhati. You know what to do, go ahead. Otherwise, engage not the abdominals, but just have that sensation that your frontal hip bones are sort of moving together towards each other, and begin your Kapalabhati round. Then take a deep breath in. Hold your breath for just a moment, and as you breathe out with a sound of ah, dropping the shoulders till it's fully exhaled. And once you've fully exhaled, just hold the breath. Don't breathe anymore. And lower your chin to your chest. Having that sensation of holding urine back. And you just hold your breath for as long as you possibly can. And only when you can't anymore, you inhale and just rest on your exhale. Just notice all the sensations in body and mind. And let's come into a seated position, straightening out the legs to the front. Sit on a blanket. If you feel your back is rounding, or if you're straining anywhere, you really want to feel those the sitting bones on the floor, keeping that spine long and erect. Flex the feet, activate your legs, and as you breathe in, arms come up to the sides, and as you breathe out, lean forward, holding the outer edges of both your feet. So just let's elongate that spine one more time, lengthening the spine on the in-breath, and as you breathe out, see if you can get your lower tummy onto your thighs as much as you can, so keep leaning forward instead of rounding and going down. We just want to elongate that spine and see if you can get as much of your belly onto the thighs. And very slowly, in your own rhythm, you start folding forward, folding, folding, folding. Elbows opening slightly to the side. You really want to have this sensation and the feeling of being folded in half here. And then you lengthen your spine while you're doing this forward bend, and observe that sensation in your belly and just breathe into it. And whatever is going on right now, so if it's really uncomfortable, you can open the legs up a little bit so that your belly's got more space, but you do want to have that belly on your thighs as much as possible to facilitate this deep tissue massage. Draw those shoulders away from your ears. Breathing. Hold.
And as you breathe in, let's come back up. Very slowly and gently. And we're going to lean on our hands. So place the hands behind you somewhat. The fingers are pointing towards the feet. Straightening the elbows, pulling the elbows together. Point the feet as if you now want to get the soles of your feet flat on the ground, lifting up. Gaze towards the ceiling. Don't let your head just hang. Keep your head controlled. You can stay here or you can start breathing in Kapalabhati. If this is too much for you, bend your knees. Let's do a tabletop with your feet flat on the ground. You don't have to breathe Kapalabhati, but if you can, go for it. You choose your version of this asana. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly lower. Hold your breath, press the hands into the floor next to your hips. Hold your breath as long as you can. When you can't anymore, just release your breath, breathe normally. Keep pressing those hands into the floor. And notice the stretch in your arms. Maybe even in your shoulders. Let's tilt that head to the right slightly, releasing the lower jaw. So keep those legs active, pressing those knees into the ground. Lower jaw is released. Hands are pressing into the floor. As you breathe in, bring your head to center. And breathing out, head to the left. Notice that stretch in the side neck. Coming back to center. So we're going to do a version of the wild thing. So let's just come back up onto the hands and knees. Straighten that right leg out to the right side. You want your right foot really flat on the floor. Walk both hands to the left as far as you can. So now take your left hand, go even further back, even further back. So now start pushing that pubic bone to the front and bring your arm up and behind you and look behind you. Look to your right fingers, pushing that pelvis forward. So this is a version of the wild thing on one knee and one foot. You want to open up that chest as much as you can, looking behind you, keeping the right foot flat. Feel the opening of your side body, your abdomen. Very slowly, let's release, coming back to center here. Changing sides. Right knee to the floor. Left foot out to the side, left leg straightened. Keep that left foot into the floor, pushing into the floor. Move to the right with your hands and body, as far right as you can with your right arm. And then let's open up to the back there. Arching back as much as you can. Pressing that left foot into the floor. Your gaze towards the tip of your nose. Breathing into the left abdomen. Very slowly, let's come out of here. Move slowly so that your body doesn't become stressed or feel stressed. Coming back onto the heels, into a seated position. We're going to do a version of the shoulder stand. So either you're going to take your bolster, I'm going to show you this version first, and once you know your version, you just go ahead and do it now. We're going to lie on this bolster in Viparita Karani with the arms to the sides, And on each out-breath, you're going to twist both knees to the right and bring them into your shoulder or next to your ear. Each in-breath, you're going to straighten up. Each out-breath, twist and lower to the left ear. So keep doing this, either with your bolster, or you're going to come into your version of the shoulder stand and do this, which means without a bolster. If you're doing the shoulder stand, maybe you've got a blanket there for your shoulders so that your head is on the floor. Otherwise, we're doing a very conservative version of the shoulder stand. So we're not going to come into a straight line. And just each find your own rhythm here. On each out-breath, drawing the knees next to the ear. And try not to turn your head. So this is a really deep abdominal massage. And make sure you're moving slowly, and make sure your out-breath is really full. And keep going. We're strengthening the leg muscles, the hip flexors. The next time both your knees are to your right ear, stay there. Let's stay there for a while. If you want to, you can also bring your feet to the floor behind you, pressing with that right hand in against your back or your hip. Breathing into the right side, there where your liver is. Digestive tract begins. If you're taking strain in your neck, release the posture. Let's switch sides, straighten with the in-breath, turning to the left, holding possibly the feet to the floor. Gently breathing into the left. Let's straighten those legs up. And as you breathe out, let's roll out of here vertebra by vertebra, bringing the soles of your feet to the floor. Straightening the legs out for a moment, just to arrive. Relax with the arms to the sides. And maybe this has even released a sense of nausea in you. And that is normal. This is called detoxing. Turn your head a few times when that feels good. Just release. Relax. We've got one more posture to go, just to neutralize this. No, I lied. 2 more postures, excuse me. The first one is going to be the fish, which we're just going to open up the whole front body. So the classical version of the fish is going to be, we're going to come up onto the elbows. Actually, we're not going to do the classical version. I'm going to show you another version. If you have any neck troubles, all you want to do is get the back of your head onto the floor. If you don't have neck troubles, you can put the crown of your head onto the floor. Your elbows can stay on the floor if you do have neck troubles. And you can either straighten your legs out or keep them bent in the air. If you don't have any neck troubles or lower back troubles, straighten your legs and your arms and interlace all the fingers except the index finger. So we're still strengthening back muscles here, opening up throat, chest, abdominals. Your gaze is towards the tip of your nose. Holding, draw the navel in. And release. In order to release, just lie on your back on the floor for a moment.
Knees are bent, just giving the body a moment to adjust. And if you have a bolster, we'll be needing the bolster now. If you don't have a bolster, maybe you can just roll a thick blanket. So coming up, taking that bolster underneath your back. We want to lie over the bolster so that the shoulders are on the floor, the glutes, part of the glutes are on the bolster. So you'll have to adjust the bolster in a position for you where your lower back doesn't hurt. So imagine that from your pubic bone, you have a zip coming up. So everything has to become tighter in your abdomen here. And then you have to hold that while you straighten out your legs, pressing the heels firmly into the ground, flexing those feet, the toes to the ceiling, keeping that zip compact and closed, arms to the sides, and a few deep breaths here. A few deep breaths. Just feel your body. Remain engaged in your abdomen with your legs. It's not a passive version what we're doing here. Just feel the opening in your abdominal muscles here in your whole abdomen, allowing for your organs to just sort of create new space for themselves. Relax the face, the forehead. Notice how your breath becomes easier as your body adjusts. So now let's bend one knee, then the other. And slowly start raising the pelvis up and push the bolster out from under your back. Bring the bolster under your knees, under your legs, but so that your heels are on the ground firmly. And just start shaking those legs a bit so that we remember to release all the tension and to relax all the muscles, tissue, and let go. Allow your legs to become still. Spread your arms out, spread your shoulder blades, lengthen your head, maybe turn your head a few times from left to right. So you do what it takes in order for you to get really comfortable in your Shavasana. Maybe you want to even cover yourself. And get really nice and comfortable on the ground, on your mat. If you have anything to close your eyes with, like an eye bag or a belt or a blanket, maybe even put something over your eyes. Because this deep relaxation which we normally take after our physical practice is really, really, really important. So get really comfortable. So just take note of your physical body on the floor, on the ground, what it feels like to lie there. And now let go of any effort in your breath. Just let it go. Don't control your breath anymore. Release the Ujjayi breath. Bid farewell to the Ujjayi breath. And allow your body to organically just breathe. And allow your feet to be completely relaxed. Your legs. The glutes, let the glutes completely go. The buttocks muscles. Also the genitals, because we used the pelvic floor muscle quite a bit today. Make sure your whole pelvic area is completely relaxed. Your abdomen. All the muscles in your back. Just let them go. Even with your awareness, go to the deepest core of all the tissue in your abdomen and just set the intention to let go. Feel the weight of your shoulders on the ground, your arms. Let go in your hands and your fingers. Your neck and the throat, completely release and let go. Your jaw, the tongue in your mouth, your cheeks, eyes, forehead, the whole head. Let go of your whole body. Your whole body. Just let go. Knowing that there is a very beautiful integration going on right now. There's a time in life where we have to exert effort. And then there's a time in life where we let go of all the efforts and the fruits thereof and relax into this very moment. Allowing the magic to just happen. And even though you're feeling very rested, relaxed, or maybe even slightly tired, notice the energy that you move forward with in the rest of your day. And take a mental note of your daily energies. A mental note when there's too much kapha within. Laziness, tiredness, feeling overweight, slightly depressed, constant sniffles and colds. And then you do a similar practice to this. Take walks in the nature, connect to the nature. Drink enough water. So lie there in your Shavasana as long as you feel that you would like to and as long as time allows. And move forward in the rest of your day with awareness, love, and gratitude. Gratitude for everything in your life. We do tend to forget to be grateful. Gratitude for your physical body that you can do a practice like this. And gratitude for the results after a practice like this, of a very beautiful, still mind, rejuvenated body. Lots and lots of love, and the divine light within me greets the divine light within you. Namaste.